Okay. Going live there. That'll get us rolling. Let's see. X. Dude, X, it's so cool that you're in here. I appreciate that. That's fucking awesome, man. Awesome. Friends. Let's get the link rolling so I can make it to the tweeters. Do that. Album of the year. You might hear a little bit of banging in the background. My wife is doing some stuff. X, how you been, man? You doing good? Hope you guys doing well. Hope you're still fucking working, man. Hope you're cranking out some more music for us. That would be nice. Oh, it's set to fucking private. Let's make that public. That's probably a little better than private, huh? Here we go. Okay, there we go. Now I think people will have a easier time finding the stream. Yeah, right. My wife's having an intense game of Spiritfarer. Actually, what she's been doing is playing a game called Kina, I think. I know, you don't know. She's played like 10 hours of it. She's been something like that. It's kind of fun. She runs around in these pretty forests and she gathers like these little fuzz balls. It's kind of cool. Emilio, Bedkinney, Dante. We'll see. Who wants to debate what? Eulogize me, but Dean's here. Oh, God, that's funny. Hi, Dean. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. 3 again. Yeah. So this goes to both chats. This is a little bit of a challenge for you to manage right now with 2 chats. But I didn't really figure out a stream or screen layout. So all I've done really is I wanted to have something visual, something on the screen. So it wasn't just me, right? Like talking to nothing. And I was kind of working with Callie in Discord, and she was kind of making like this overlay, but we didn't really get to sort it out. So YouTube's already telling me to insert ads. God, YouTube. It's crazy. You turn on monetization and YouTube's like, oh, you should put ads. Do you want ads? You should do. Now's a great time to do ads. Oh my God, people are watching ads. Anyway, how do we feel about this layout, this screen layout? Let me adjust this just slightly. I don't like that you can see the server list almost. There we go, a little better. That's okay. Candy canes with it. Yes, Gravy Train. So Discord is Patreon only, which is $2. So I do want to point out that those of you who, like, if you want to talk during this all the same, please don't sign up for Patreon only for this, because I don't know how often I'm going to do this. This is still kind of in its test cycle right now. So I'm just trying to prove it, or not prove it, but kind of get it dialed in. I go back and forth on making this a consistent thing because that's just another consistent thing to do, and I don't want to burn myself out with too much, you know. So that's all that's going on there. And then how do I shows requests? No requests. Okay, shows chat. There we go. Oh, BHR, you've got Patreon. So if you're on the Patreon, BHR, you can just message me directly. I can send you a link to Discord. My mic is high. Oh, okay. Well, I was kind of leaning forward. Also, Kanye, it could be just you as well. But I was kind of close to my mic just then. Oh, the next Metro album. So that's a good point. Thank you. Well, I know your real name, but I won't say it. So, Young Thug there. I'm not planning on doing the next Metro Boomin. I'm not planning on doing the soundtrack because, well, it's a soundtrack. I like Metro Boomin. I really enjoyed Heroes and Villains, but with it being a soundtrack, I'm just not planning on doing it. So we'll see. Yeah, X, if you want to talk here, you can. So let's kind of get rolling. It's almost 7. I like to wait till 7, but people are here. We're rolling. You know, people are checking it out. Yeah, real names are only for the Discord. So tonight's topic, I figured it'd be kind of fun. I mean, we just started June, okay, but we're not quite halfway through the year, but sort of. I kind of feel like too with the first half, if you call it, what we've had so far, the first half, we haven't really rolled into like the big summer releases yet, right? So you can kind of call this the first half of the year before the massive summer wave, and yeah. I want to see, okay, what do we think? How do we feel about the albums that have come out so far this year? Who do we think is contender of the year or for contender for album of the year? I apologize. By the way, I've had a little bit of sauce, so I will be fumbling my words here, of course. Yes, we are live on YouTube, Sherry. Hi to Sherry and his mom. Oh, 3 again. Album of the year, of course, was the Frank Ocean album, of course. Liddy's saying Utopia. That'll be an interesting one to hear. The Travis fans are coming out in full force for Utopia. It'll be interesting. And we can discuss that too. Like if you want to make a prediction on what you think will be album of the year, all fun and games, right? There's nothing off the table here, obviously. But I'll kind of get us rolling. Because in terms of album of the year, in my opinion, I've only listened to, I think, 4 new 2023 albums this year. And to me, those 4 have all been in contention, in my opinion. Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Fantastic album. Definitely worthy of consideration for album of the year. Ugly by Slow Tie. I feel like everyone's kind of sleeping on that one. Like it's under the radar. I really like. Oh, I have. That's right. 10,000 Gex. That's right. I forgot about that one too. Oh, and Yeet. I did listen to Yeet. Well, that lets you know how I feel about the Yeet album. Since I forgot about it. I feel like Ugly by Slow Tie is being slept on hardcore right now. That is a great fucking album. Great album. Scaring the Hose. Obviously, JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. And then the one I just did by Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel, Maps. All 4 of those, in my opinion, are fantastic. Fantastic albums, definitely worthy of being considered. Was Ice Spice the EP this year? I didn't realize if that was the case. That's my mistake. I thought that came out last year for some reason. Was it like January or something? Maybe it's because it's January. Oh, okay. Early this year. All right. Well, shit, Ice Spice. I didn't realize it was such a well-traveled person in terms of new releases for the year. Like, wow. So with the Ice Spice, and I'm not trying to put Ice Spice down or say it wasn't good or anything, but I feel like because it's 17 minutes, it's technically an EP, I suppose. I don't know. Who cares, right? I mean, whatever. If you're into it, you're into it. Doesn't matter. If you wanna push your Ice Spice for album of the year, fucking have a blast. Why not? Who cares? Okay. So anybody who is in Discord, if you want to call or you want to speak, you just raise your hand up. I'll see your hand go up, and then I'll pull you in. YouTube comments, kind of let's get the ball rolling. Like in terms of those 4, if I was forced to pick between Let's Start Here, Ugly, Scaring the Hose, and Maps, I honestly don't know which one I would pick. I honestly don't know. I think a lot of people think, oh, I would pick Scaring the Hose, but I don't know. I really don't know. I honestly, right now, I would probably pick Ugly. So we have our first caller. Let's drop in. JPEG Sweatshirt, you're going to be up first here. Let's get you in here. Sent you the invite. Another thing, too, we didn't really go through like a test run. So if you do raise your hand, you got to accept the invite and then go ahead, man. What's going on, JPEG Sweatshirt?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I completely agree with you on Maps and Scaring the Hose. Hose has been out a bit longer, so it's probably the one I would choose if I had to, but Maps is really growing on me really quick. It's like Billy Wood's last album was incredible to me, and I might like Maps even more.
Maps is really good. It is to me, it feels like something where the more you listen to it, the better it gets. I mean, there's a lot of albums that kind of do that, but I just feels like there's something with Billy Woods and how he wrote that album, and then also the production by Kenny Siegel and how he made the sound. It's like the more time you spend with it, the more you sink in and really feel all the little nooks and crannies and textures that exist there, you know?
Yeah, and especially like just him as a person, I feel like his perspective adds so much to the music. Like I know that's can be said for just about any artist with good lyrics, but just having listened to his past couple albums and looking up some stuff about him, I know like his father was a revolutionary communist somewhere in Africa who was like had to leave the country at one point, and I don't remember the full story, but he grew up in a very like radical political environment, like learning about people getting fucked over and talking about at one point how his only view of America was like, why would people want to go there? Like there's like shit's fucked up. Like
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's just it's such a different perspective than what anyone that's from here would have, even if they politically are on his side. So it's just really interesting to me where he came from and how he flips little stuff in that's so like you have to listen to it so many times before you can fully understand what I don't even pretend I know what half of Maps is about yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, and what is interesting is even with that, when he's kind of on this tour thing, which is a big chunk of the album, then he's almost relieved to get home, but not entirely. You know, like you get into NYC tap water and he's at the bar and all this other stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Like he's kind of happy to be home, but also like, Jesus, I kind of hate this place as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting, honestly. Just, I don't know. It's like the perspective of just never being content, even if you get exactly what you want. It's really,
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of artists have done things where it's like, you know, I wanted to be big. I made it big. It's not what I thought it was. And that's like, you know, like a very, very common concept. But I've never heard it where it's like, I'm at home. Fuck, I want to go on tour. I want to be performing for people, or not necessarily even want to be performing for people, but I don't feel normal here.
Yeah.
And then you go on tour and it's the same thing, but in a different way. And it's just really, really interesting. It's definitely the most lyrically dense album I've heard so far this year.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point in terms of just the general tune of discontent throughout the album, and you can feel it with the production too. I like that. All right, JPEG, good. Thanks for hopping in, man. I'm gonna rotate you out for the next person. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Of course. Thanks, dude. Let's see. There was some stuff. So this is the hard part. I'm still trying to like master this of listening to someone and then kind of paying a little bit more attention to YouTube, because last time the YouTube comments I ignored them a little too much, right? But let's see. There was something. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily relevant to the immediate conversation that we were having there, but that was Maps. I think Maps is definitely a contender for album of the year. It is one of those things where you have to sit with it a lot more. So 3 again says, this year hasn't been packed enough, needs more. There was a good tweet recently by the NFR podcast talking about how 2023 has been kind of light with a few exceptions. And I think that makes sense. I mean, well, not so much makes sense, but I think I agree with that. But it's also, I feel like it's kind of nice because I like when you find these really good albums, it's nice to have a lot of time with it. Let's see, not much on the YouTube comment side. Let's drop in with, hey, that's Genesis. Hey, hi, Genesis. Thanks for popping in. Zach, let's get you in, man. Let's hear you advocate for probably 10,000 gecs, right?
How'd you know?
Oh, I know you. I know you well enough.
I was going to go on this whole spiel about how, when you first hear an album, whether it's great or not, you're not going to love it right away, probably. Yeah. Most of the time, it takes multiple listens to really get into an album. And I was going to basically, 10,000 gecs is definitely up there. At first, I wasn't crazy about it, which is kind of funny because I'm a huge Gex fan. But
Yeah.
even for me, it was an adjustment just because I was used to their old sound, which was also a massive adjustment. But I don't think it's technically the best album this year. I'm just a big fan, so
Yeah.
I want to talk about some other albums too. I don't want to spend too much time on that.
Okay, yeah. What do you think in terms of album of the year? What's your top couple contenders?
Well, first, just to blast through the ones that you talked about, Scaring the Hose, for sure. Amazing album.
Yeah.
Probably going to be the one that I listen to the most of the ones you mentioned, at least. It's just super fun to listen to, frankly. Like, I put it on in the car, and, like, it's just, like, such a blast every single time. It is
fucking fun to listen to, man.
Yeah.
Every time
it's
I put
so
it on,
lit.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so good.
Yeah. Ugly as well. Really emotional. Really good album. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it at this point, right? You know how good it is.
Yeah, I love Ugly. Fuck, it's so good.
Yeah. And then, okay, as the Maps album, that was my first time hearing it last week with you.
Oh, okay.
So it was so good, but I haven't had enough time to really say it's my favorite or it's a contender. Yeah, I need more time with it, basically. So definitely on my radar, though, as a potential contender.
Did you listen to Let's Start Here? Oh, you're going to say Let's Start Here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I did listen to Let's Start Here, but for me, not an album of the year contender.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't like it, and I think the Black Seminole definitely could be a song of the year contender. That's for sure. But the rest of the album didn't quite live up to that first song for me, personally.
Black Seminole is great. It is a great kickoff for that album. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so that song is definitely a song of the year contender, but I didn't fall in love with the album as much. My favorite Lil Yachty album is still his debut mixtape, which I really hope you get the chance to check out someday, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, maybe someday.
And then there's basically just a couple I'll blast through real quick, and then you can rotate me out. Tim Hecker's No Highs album. It's an ambient album. It's just like nice, quiet, calm synths for an hour, and it's like a looping album. So the first time I heard it, I had it on loop, and I listened to it like 3 times in a row without even kind of realizing that I had listened to it multiple times in a row.
And
I was just at work, and it was beautiful. And I went back and I've listened to it probably like 10 times now. So Tim Hecker's No Highs.
Okay.
Liturgy's album, it's just called 93696.
Huh.
It's transcendental black metal, as Anthony Fantano says. So there's like, squealing guitars, a lot of guitar picking, screaming, but also like harps and pianos and even like glitching and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's like a long album, but it's super heady and it's like super fun to listen to. Doesn't really sound like anything else I've ever heard before other than other Liturgy albums. So there's that one. Alice Longue Gau's Let's Hope Heteros Fail, Learn, and Retire. Very strange EP. It's like a combination of pop and metal, I guess. It's like a lot of screaming and squealing and shrieking over like heavy bass, not not rap bass, like a bass guitar.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And like heavy drums and big metal riffs and stuff. That's a cool one too. 17 minutes long, super fun to listen to.
Huh.
Not a lot of reviews for it because I heard that she went online and like requested that people take down their reviews.
Oh,
so, like,
interesting.
That Professor Sky guy had it up, and then I guess she asked him to take it down, and he did.
No kidding.
The review for that album. So interesting with that one.
Yeah.
Definitely one to keep your eyes out on. Everyone, 17 minutes long. Definitely check it out.
Oh yeah.
And the last one. And this is my actual real pick for album of the year.
Here we go. This answer.
Is Caroline Polachek's Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. Anyone who's heard this album knows what I'm talking about. Turning the Tables just did a review of it the other day, and they both obviously loved it, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing album. It had a really long rollout of over like a year and a half, where the first single for the album came out, I believe, in 2021.
Oh, wow.
Like late 2021.
That's
and that
crazy.
Song, Pitchfork gave it Song of the Year. That song was fucking amazing. I love that song. And then the rest of the album was incredibly strong. And even some songs surpassed that first single, which was
crazy.
Bunny is a Rider. Yeah, that's it.
Huh.
All right. So yeah, that's it. Caroline Polachek. Everyone should listen to it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much all for me. So
right on. Good list, man. I appreciate it. That was great. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Anyways, thanks for having me. So.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for
Sorry, I
jumping
just
in.
went off and went off.
No,
and
that's
went
great.
off.
That's the
Didn't
whole
give
point.
You a chance.
That's the whole point. That's what's fun, man. This is great. That's cool.
All right. Well, thank you. You can kick me now.
All right, kicking you. Oh man, yo, I did see. Yeah, Turning the Tables did that reaction. I didn't watch it. I've heard only good things about that one. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to get to it, but there you go. Let's see. Jacob is saying Marlon Craft. Please check him out. Genesis is saying sounds like the average Fantana viewer list. Let's move on. Let's see. We got another caller here. So in Discord, I'm just gonna send the invite because I can't pronounce the fucking name, because in Discord people have been taking their names and flipping them upside down, and so I can't read it. So I sent the invite. Oh, he's there. Okay. How's it going? Please tell me your name, because I can't read it upside down and backwards. It breaks my brain. Oh, and check your audio, because I can't quite hear you either right now. Oh, I think I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to come back to you, because I can't hear you here. Let's move on to Marcus Quesadilla? Quesadilla? I don't know how to pronounce that either. I'm terrible at names. What's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Bob?
What's going on?
God. This is so exciting. I just want to just real quick start off. I'm a relatively new patron. I joined in March earlier this year.
Oh, well, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. But I've been watching since Whole Lotta Red, dude. The moment I saw that you were reacting to Whole Lotta Red, I had to click on it. It's so good.
That one recently hit 1 million views. I can't believe it. There's a video.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 1 million views. That's insane.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's huge. Well, congratulations, obviously.
Thank you. Yeah, that's cool.
But to get into some album talk, I just really quick want to talk about 2 albums that I know you haven't listened to, and then I can get into. I want to talk about Scaring the Hose, definitely.
Okay,
but
sure.
I want to start by talking about this album. It's called "All of This Will End" by Indigo de Souza.
Okay.
It's came out pretty recently, about a month ago. But it's this very progressive, indie record. And it's just been my go-to for chill vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm sitting back, if I'm smoking a little bit, whatever, I will put it on and I will just vibe out. It's fantastic. And if anyone hasn't listened to it, y'all need to check it out. I think it's amazing. And then another one, and this one that might be a little more controversial because I know some people do not like Cemetery, but this guy Cemetery dropped an album recently called Butcher House. He is one of the most aggressive and abrasive trap artists. It's the worst mixing possible on the songs. It's so distorted, but holy crap, it gets the energy going. It is so fun to listen to. And the hooks are repetitive, but they're so intense and violent. You just get so engrossed.
That sounds
and this
wild.
record, yeah. He's dropped some other records before that I like more than this one, but this one is definitely him kind of getting comfortable in a less experimental sound, even though it's still super abrasive. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. I think it's really great.
No one has mentioned that to me at all. So I have to agree at least that people are sleeping on it if no one's brought it up to me.
Oh man, if ever you hear the name Cemetery, like the word cemetery, but spelled with an S in the front. So if you ever hear that name and they mention Rainbow Bridge 3, I need you to pin that comment or whatever and just remember it. Because if you hear that album, you'll lose it, man. It's incredible. But I do want to talk about Scaring the Hose, because that is my...
Yeah, Scaring the Hose, man, yeah.
That's my album of the year so far. Tracks like Garbage Pail Kids and... Garbage Pail Kids and Perfect are great, hype songs. But I'm also really loving other cuts like Heaven on Earth with that really weird beat. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I really do love Scaring the Hose. And I know you come into Scaring the Hose as a big JPEG Mafia fan.
Yeah.
Not to say you aren't a Danny fan, but you're a bigger JPEG fan, right?
You know what, though? Honestly, I'm learning. Danny is really fucking growing on me. He is really growing on me. I heard his feature on the track Year Zero on the Maps album, and it was so
Off
good.
of Maps.
Oh,
Which,
so
but I will mention I did listen to Maps, and I do like Maps a lot, and I'd put it somewhere in like a top 5 for the year, but I am a Billy Woods fan, and I do actually prefer. They did a project I think in 2019, Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel, called Hiding Places. I personally find it a little better, but I do still think Maps is great.
yeah, people have said Hiding Places is pretty good, and then the him and what is it, Uslid or no, God damn it, Elucid. I'm sorry, Elucid, and what is
Yes,
they're Arm and Hammer, right?
Yeah, they're Arm and Hammer, and I do like the Arm and Hammer projects too. I will say I kind of prefer Billy Woods solo work. I think it's a little more concise, but the Arm and Hammer stuff is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Their most recent album with The Alchemist was great, Haram. So,
yeah, that's the one everyone talks about. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's awesome.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Scaring the Hose and JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, because I mean, I honestly don't expect any like substantial institution to necessarily acknowledge that album, but both of those names are getting big enough to where you can't ignore it either, in my opinion.
Especially Peggy. I think he has just like over time has just been getting bigger and bigger while getting better and better. I think he's just impossible to ignore at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But the thing about Scaring the Hose is I was mentioning you came in as like a JPEG fan, but I like Danny Brown is my favorite rapper of all time.
He's great.
I like Atrocity Exhibition, man, is one of my favorite albums easily. Triple X is like, I don't keep a lot of CDs in my car because I can just Bluetooth music or whatever. But one of the CDs I keep is Triple X by Danny, and I can just play that whenever. Yeah. And I'm laughing and I'm having fun. It's so great. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, the mixing, and they talked about Danny Brown's verses on Scary the Hose. Like, like JPEG's beats are definitely the center of the show, but I think Danny really compliments them, and I just think there's a lot of chemistry on that project.
I remember seeing a comment somewhere where someone said, I swear to God, Danny could rap over anything. It's like,
absolutely, man. He proves it in his own discography, and then he like solidifies it with the Scaring the Hose. It's just insane. And I guess last thing I'll mention is, I know, like, so there are two things that I heard recently about it, and the one is Danny Brown is supposed to be releasing 40, like, I believe it was last year he was going to do the album 40, but then it got postponed to this year, and I'm not sure if it's going to come out this year, but if that were to come out, that could be my album of the year if it's, like, as solid and concise as 30 is or any of other Danny's work.
I think it would be, because he's said specifically, like, he's changed so much as he's gotten older, and he's no longer in the business of putting out not aged well music, he has said.
Right. Exactly. And then the last thing I want to mention is it was a recent episode of Danny Brown's podcast where he said something along the lines that now that him and Peggy are going on tour for Scaring the Hose, they've already started working on a volume 2.
Oh, thank God.
I know, right? I saw it in like a little YouTube clip or something, but I saw it and I like couldn't stop thinking about it for the next like hour. I was like, dude, I cannot wait. Yeah. So like maybe, we shouldn't expect that to drop in the same year. But I mean, if they're on tour working on music all the time, it's totally possible. And like, imagine a 2-pack of album of the year that JPEG and Danny Brown technically have 2 album of the years in 1 year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be great. All right, Mark, one more question before I rotate you out. Did you listen to Ugly by Slow Tie?
Oh, yeah. I found that album really enjoyable. I will say but I haven't gone back to it that much. Oh, really? And I think it's great. I do really think it's great. And I think specific tracks, especially Happy is one of my favorites. Yeah, that's great. And definitely was Never Again is the very introspective one, right? Yeah. Like about the story. Yeah. That song really hit me when I first heard it. And I am a fan of Slow Tie's stuff. It's just, I don't know. I almost like him more as just a hardcore rapper.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to like this punk rock artist that he's trying to do. And I'm not saying it's bad. Like, he could do 5 more albums of this, and I'm sure by album number 5 I'd be calling it a 10.
Yeah.
But I definitely think like his, like, the album that I first listened to by him, Nothing Great About Britain, is really so good, and it's just like a hardcore rap album with these super loud beats. Like I really love, I just love a lot of his rap stuff. So I didn't
Yeah.
fall in love with Ugly, but I do think it's great. I do
Okay.
think it's a good album.
All right, cool. Well, cool, Mark. Thanks for jumping in, man. I'm gonna rotate you out. Thank you.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.
Hell
Have a
yeah.
good one, man.
You too. Hell yeah. There have been a couple of comments too talking about this was recently, right? Slow Tie got charged, not like accused, but I think actually charged with 2 cases of sexual assault or rape or something like that. And it's like, oh, that fucking sucks, and it sucks for all the obvious reasons. It kind of, takes the fucking taste out of the mouth for the album, but it's also one of those things where it's strangely fitting if you listen to Ugly, and one of the things that, some of the elements that are happening in that album, and it's like, holy shit, how true was that album? Unfortunately, Little Terrestrials and YouTube, how's it going, man? I want to share a little bit of insider info. I've been listening to snippets that Little Terrestrial has been sending me with a special guitarist who's been playing for him over his productions. I won't say who it is just yet, but it sounds amazing. It kind of sounds like a fucking hidden vault track from Pink Floyd or something like that. Pretty good shit. I'm looking forward to it, Little Terrestrial. Hopefully you can crack that out, and we can all enjoy it soon. Shramp, you're up next, man. I'm going to send you the invite. Let's see. What do you think for Album of the Year?
Hello.
How's it going, Shramp? How you been? It's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been doing well. I haven't listened to too many albums this year just because of scheduling.
Uh-huh.
But the ones that I have listened to, I've mostly enjoyed. My favorite album that I didn't release, or that didn't release this year that I listened to, was The Avalanches. I would compare it to DJ Shadow. They're very similar.
Did that come out late last year?
Yeah, or it released like 2001.
Well, bro, you gotta move up a couple decades. Okay, you're a little behind the curve.
My actual album of the year is currently Jessie Ware's That Feels Good, which is essentially like 80s disco revival.
Oh,
almost.
Wow.
I've loved everything that she's done. Everything feels so smooth and sleek in a way that like Thriller felt.
Oh, wow.
It feels like it's not the same style necessarily, but it feels very like cool and sleek. It's like how in any movie they play bad or like smooth criminal whenever someone's doing a heist.
Oh yeah, sure, of course.
Like that vibe, but it's like the same thing where it's like it feels very like sleek and fun and just like it's an amazing vibe, and I've loved that album.
Cool.
I've enjoyed Scaring the Hose. I definitely have not enjoyed it as much as other people have.
I just want to pause you real quick. I want to simmer and enjoy the statement of, I've enjoyed Scaring the Hose, but not as much as other people.
Yeah, I'm sure other people love Scaring the Hose.
Oh yeah, it's really fun Scaring the Hose.
All of our music tastes would to a certain extent, especially if we're listening to that album.
Did you listen to Let's Start Here or Maps?
Or I listened to some of Let's Start Here. I didn't finish it. And I think I listened to like a song or two off of Slow Ties, but it didn't like hook me.
Oh, okay.
I personally have never been. JPEG Mafia is really hit or miss for me. It's really like track by track that I listen to, where it's like I like this track, but I hate this track. It's like off of Veteran, for example. Like I really like the first couple tracks, but then it kind of just congests into this like thing where it's harder for me to like distinguish, if that makes sense. It's very much like I zone out, and then when I try to come back into the music, I'm just completely lost. And I'm like, where is the beat?
Veteran is very experimental. I mean, that one, of all the JPEGs that I've heard, I don't really go back to Veteran very often. It is wild, but it is also just out there.
It's very difficult. The album I am the most excited for, and I've mentioned this to you before, is Genesis Owusu's upcoming sophomore album. I expect that to be my album of the year. I really think that this guy is the next big thing, and he's just waiting for his breakout album. Like his first project, I think is probably in my top 15 rap albums of all time.
Oh wow!
I think he fulfills this fun niche where like he's very melodic in a way, but he's very good at rapping, but he does it over very ear candy instrumentals where it's really fun to just like dance to, but then it's also really fun to like go back and like think about it. Like I Don't See Color is one of my favorite tracks, where I also love the track Drown, which is just like this really fun vibe, but then I Don't See Color is this like really dark and just like really like gray look at life through the lens of racism, and it's very interesting. I've been so impressed by him time and time again whenever he's released a single here or there.
Interesting.
I expect that to be album of the year.
That name has come up. I mean, maybe you were saying the next project is supposed to release this year sometime.
Yeah, August, I believe. Is
okay.
August or something. I am so stoked. It'll probably be my album of the year, if not just like one of my favorite albums of this decade. I really believe in this guy.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a claim for album of the decade. That's a lot of music you got to beat out right there, man.
This guy is. I'm gonna make some people angry, but this guy is like. It's like I'm watching Kendrick Lamar's evolution from Section 80 to Good Kid, Mad City. Like that's what I'm expecting. Of like, Kendrick is crazy on Section 80, but then he goes even more insane on Good Kid, Mad City. That's what I'm expecting from this project.
I mean, that would be great, right? To see that kind of leap. Yeah. We always hope for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool, man. I mean, thanks. I good input. I'm curious. Maybe I can catch that album when it drops in real time and react to it. That would be fun.
But scaring the hose. Keep on scaring the hose, Bob.
Always scare the hose, man. You can never go wrong if you're scaring the hose. All right, Chappie. I'm gonna rotate you out, man. Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Let's see. Oh, we have a Kanye here. Let's get a little invite to Kanye. Although it's also indicating gray. Oh no, he's here. What's up, man? How's it going? Oh, and we'll see if we have another audio issue. This is a little tough. Sometimes people, if we jump in, I failed to prepare the Discord audience with little audio checks. Can't hear ya. I'm gonna rotate you out. Maybe we can get you back in. Okay, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. Now I still don't know how to pronounce your name because you're upside down. You get chance number 2 here because your audio cut out before. There you go. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, we're working now. How are you, Bob?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's a bit flipping late. I'm very tired.
I know. That's one thing that sucks about these streams is I do them at a time that is inconvenient for anybody on the other side of the Atlantic.
Yeah, well, I stayed all the way up just for this.
Well, I'm glad I got you back in. Now, what do you think? What's your album of the year so far?
Very, very minimal bias. It's got to be Scaring the Hose. Nice. Has to be. Without a doubt. Just for me, when it first dropped, it's just half an hour straight, non-stop. You've got like seconds to breathe between the tracks, and it just keeps going. Each beat is got that JPEG style to it, but it's so unique at the same time. You've got like the gospel side, God Loves You, so amazing. The Danny verse on that song makes me laugh so hard every time.
Yeah.
With all the biblical references. Step a Pig as well stands out for me. I don't know what it is, but that beat just is heavenly.
Yeah, Step a Pig's great. I for me, like right now thus far, I think my song of the year is Garbage Pail Kids. I can't fucking get over that beat. It hits so hard every time. It's so good.
And the fact it's from like a 80s Japanese commercial, and he's just found that, and he's fit it into that song, and it just sounds incredible, and it just works. And I don't know how he does it. And yeah.
I'm very excited.
As well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear what JPEG Mafia does going forward. I feel like he's on the up curve of like a parabolic spike right now, you know?
Yeah, for me, I'm not sure if it beats LP for me. LP is still my favorite JPEG album, but it's just been an upward curve since his first album, Black Ben Carson, and then Veteran, and then Cornballs, and then LP was just like the peak for me. I love that album so much, and Scaring the Hose is the same. So I'm really, really excited because apparently he tweeted at the beginning of this year, I'm pretty sure, that he was planning to drop 3 albums this year.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether he'll stick to that or not, but if he does, it could be crazy.
It'll be impressive if he pulls that off, because it's not like he's just sitting around in his apartment making music. Like, he's on tour, he's doing all kinds of shit. That guy is busy. So if he can kick out 3 projects this year, that'd be incredibly impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I was just saying, in terms of like LP and Scaring the Hose, it is hard to compare those two, because even though it's JPEG Mafia, they're wildly different from each other. And I mean, obviously Danny is present, and so that makes a difference. But just in sound, on production, they're totally different from each other. Yeah, I feel like JPEG's, all of his albums are like that, though. If you listen to a song, you could put it into the category of the album it comes from, I feel like.
That's a good point.
You can just tell, like, there's like a different sound to each of his, like, almost eras.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with that take. Yeah, for sure. You could just like, no, this is where this song belongs in this album, because it just kind of somehow fits in that sonic space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. What about Let's Start Here or Slow Ties, Ugly, or Maps? Did you listen to any of those projects?
I've listened to Maps, and I haven't listened to Let's Start Here or Slow Tie yet. I was going to listen to Slow Tie, but the whole situation with him happened just as I was about to listen. And I feel like it's like when I listened to a Kanye album after, obviously, the things that happened at the end of last year, and it's just like, I can listen to it, but it just makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
So it's like he went from making like all this amazing music to saying the things he did, and I feel like that's going to be the same if I listen to the Slow Tie project. But I do need to get around to listening to Lil Yachty's album.
I feel like with Slow Tie, it's even almost worse, because the charges, not just allegations, accusations, the charges are so closely related to the content that exists on the album. And it's like, oh, like,
yeah,
it's one thing to listen to Kanye, sing, Hey Mama, or, all this other stuff, right? But, way before he's done what he's done. But for Slow Tie to release this album and for it to have the content that it does, and then he gets charged with things that are directly related to the things he's talking about in the album, it's almost like you're listening to him do the thing that he got charged for.
Yeah.
And it's like, this doesn't really work at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Thanks
you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for staying up.
Even after the mic failure as
well.
well.
No. I'm glad you were able to get back in. I didn't realize you were staying up so late. So thanks for hanging out, man. That's cool. I appreciate it.
Thank you both.
Of course. And there's been a couple other, I think I said this earlier, a couple other comments about, it just really sucks that these charges came through. Cardboard and YouTube says, as somebody who's dabbling in producing, Scaring the Hose blows my mind. As someone who does not dabble in producing, it blows my mind. Like, the way Kanye's brain works, or not Kanye, I'm sorry, JPEG Mafia's brain works it does not register in my mind. I can't put that together.
I would hope Kanye's would also not register.
My wife also hopes that Kanye's way of thinking does not register in my brain as well. Oh, man. Let's see. A's says the slow tie news sucks. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right, let's move on to Fozzy. Fozzy, what do you think, man? What's your album of the year thus far?
Hello?
Hello, Fozzy. How's it going?
I'm doing great. This is like the first time I've ever talked in like a VC in this server, so I'm kind of nervous, to be honest.
If you want to add to the nervousness, you're also streaming live on YouTube right now, so the whole world.
I've been on the stream as well. This is great. I'm having a great time.
But I've had 4 beers. I'm gonna get my 5th, so he sounds brilliant.
Oh, okay. Well, my wife is drunk, and so she says everything you say will be smart to her.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
What you got for album of the year, man? What do you think so far?
I honestly have like 4 to 5 different picks. I'm trying to like quickly think of which one I have like the best amount of insight on. Uh, it'd probably be either Scaring the Hose, 10,000 Gex, or Kali Uchis's Red Moon to Venus. But I'm probably just gonna talk about Scaring the Hose. Scaring the Hose, I have never listened to anything like Scaring the Hose. Even like with the other Peggy projects, I've never heard anything close to Scaring the Hose. And the thing I want to talk about mainly is how good Danny Brown is on that project, because I think he doesn't miss once, like at all, and he's keeping up, because like it's obviously more like JPEG's playing field when it comes to production, but he's keeping up so well. And like you look at a song like Rebound off LP with Dat Piff Mafia, which was like one of JPEG's original friends. He's able, he flows on the beat for Rebound very well, but Danny Brown, it's almost like his style was almost made for it, because like I don't know if he was producing specifically to fit Danny Brown's needs, but there are specific pockets on the album, specifically songs on like Perfect, where he rides it so well, specifically like the hook for it, where he's like doing like the twice repeating words.
Yeah, no, Danny, there's something about Dan, and it's kind of neat because I know Danny's been around for a while, right? And it seems like he's kind of picking up steam. I don't want to say lately, because I know 30 came out a while ago and Atrocity Exhibition came out a while ago and stuff. But there was a comment that Danny made about Lil Yachty and Let's Start Here, and how he felt like Let's Start Here probably should have been Lil Yachty's first album ever. Like all of the other stuff was just practice leading up to Let's Start Here, you know, this incredible album that caught everybody off guard and stuff. And I think there's some truth to that, in that as you're an artist and as you're developing and you're growing and you're just getting better, you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, now I'm like legit good at this. And fucking Danny, in my opinion, is in the zone of crushing it right now. Like he's doing so well.
Yeah, I think Danny Brown is probably like one of the most consistent rap artists just in general. I don't think he's ever missed on a project. Even like his lesser known ones, like You Know What I'm Saying and Old, show that he can basically do everything.
Yeah, he's great. Have you listened to the track Year Zero off of Maps, where Danny Brown's on that one?
Oh, I have a story for that. I was listening to Maps on my walk to school, and I didn't look at the feature list, and it was the most scary thing of my entire life, because you're listening to a song by Billy Woods and you hear the Billy Woods flow, and then you just hear "Check" out loud, and then Danny Brown starts rapping, and I just stopped walking for like a minute. That was an incredible feature though. Maps is great. It'd probably be number 6 on my list so far for 2023.
What's your 1 through 5 then? What do you got? Well, actually, and here. You don't worry about the order, okay? Just the other 5 albums. Don't worry about the order, because I know that's hard.
Scaring the Hose, Kali Uchis's Red Moon to Venus, 100 Gex, 10,000 Gex, Gorilla's Cracker Island.
Oh,
and,
okay.
What was the fifth one? I don't know if this counts, but Red Veil's Playing with Fire has been one of my just favorite releases in the, like, of the 2020s. He is great on that one, and I'm still waiting. I'm very patiently waiting for Learn to Swim to get into the reaction list.
It's been mentioned a lot. There's been a push for it. I would like to make it happen. It's tough. I mean, you guys have heard me say it 100 times. It's hard to pick, track to or month to month. But yeah, Red Veil's up there. Lucky's up there. There's some others that are up there that.
Lucky would be great to be on there. Also, for Veil specifically, I don't know, his production. It's the only way I can describe it is that the production combined with the way he mixes his voice, it almost sounds like he's speaking in bold font. That's how I describe it. It's just so powerful, specifically with the way he uses 808s, and specifically with Playing with Fire, because Learn to Swim was, I think, more mellow in tone production wise, and then Playing with Fire is just blasting in your face, specifically with tracks like Captain and Gift Bag. It's all great.
That's cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, Fozzie, thanks for jumping in, man. I'm gonna rotate. We're kind of running a little short on time, so I want to try and get some people in.
Oh yeah, my bad.
No,
Thank you
you're
for
good.
having-
You're good. No worries, man. That was great. Thanks for jumping in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I love the channel.
Yeah, great. Thanks, dude. All right. Let's get Catman Gamer. You're up next here. Let's see. Cardboard says, I feel like you should wait for Redveil to release a new album. He's been on an uptick in recognition and finding his sound. It'll be a big event when he drops. Cool. Catman Gamer, welcome. How's it going?
Yo, it's going pretty good. Because I've been listening to a lot more music recently. And I've been kind of keeping track with more modern releases as of this year. I didn't do so much so last year, since last year I was kind of getting into music. But, I mean, my obvious pick for number one is Scaring the Hose.
Yeah.
Which is kind of obvious. I mean, everyone's kind of said it. But
it's great.
It's just, it's like, and it's funny because everyone's favorites, like everyone has, like, so many different favorites. And, like, my top 5 is, like, completely different from, like, anyone else's that I know's top 5 on that album. And it's crazy how every song on there just hits like in some different way.
Yeah.
Just crazy. It's also my most played album of this year so far, and I've listened to it like constantly.
Well, the thing about the album, I think
yeah.
one of the things that makes it so strong for Album of the Year contender is it's so easy to listen to over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, Perfect is one of my most listened to tracks like of all time now. I'm looking at my last FM. It's like I have like 150 listens of that. It's crazy. I just can't stop listening to it. It's just crazy. But another one that I do think is I don't think it hasn't been mentioned, but Lana Del Rey's new album.
Yeah, the Tunnels or something like that.
Yeah.
Tunnels under somewhere.
Yeah. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? It's such a beautiful album, and I love Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey is kind of like one of my favorite artists, like from like a while back. But it's just such a beautiful album. It's much more consistent than all of her other projects. And I know Anthony Fantana reviewed it and gave it a really high score. And he is not like historically a fan of Lana. But yeah, that album is really good. I really do think it's underrated.
I've heard really good things about it. I know I didn't watch the reaction because just in case, but I know Kevin was crying over it. Like apparently she just dumps it all out on that album.
Yeah, it's a heavy one, especially emotionally. Like, there's like a couple songs on there, like I think it's Fishtail. That one was really powerful. And hell, even like some of like there's some more interesting songs on there. Like she experiments with different sounds too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that album so much. Another one, Let's Start Here. I mean, that one's also kind of obvious, but I actually have the vinyl for it. It's like I love that album so much. It was my album of the year until JPEG Mafia released and Danny. So
it's really good. I mean,
amazing.
Let's Start Here is so good.
And it's such an interesting sound because I was never a fan of Yachty. Like, I listened to like Lil Boat 1 and I was kind of like, yeah, it's fine. It's just like fun music. But as soon as I heard that album, like it dropped and then everyone on Twitter was freaking out about it.
Yeah.
I checked out the first song, Black Seminole. I like it blew my freaking mind. I had to like stop everything I was doing and just listen to the whole album.
Yeah. I remember people,
like,
people were blowing up my Twitter that morning. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. Like, I've never heard of Lil Yachty. I don't know what's going on. It's Pink Floyd. It's Pink Floyd. Okay, whatever. And yeah, I dropped in to Black Seminole and I'm like, oh yeah. Like, this is fucking amazing.
I remember actually like walking home from school and I saw your reaction to it. I was like, oh, he's going to love this. Like, and I actually showed my mom that album and that's like, she's been obsessed with it too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He did a great job.
And I love it because it's like, it has that like Pink Floyd style, but it also infuses that with like Lil Yachty's like signature style. Like he has like a style that he brings on an album.
Yeah,
and I think he's really good at it.
Yeah, it is great.
Yeah, and like there's so many albums that I'm looking forward to. Hell, even like in a couple hours, the Spider-Verse soundtrack with Metro, that one is something that I'm really excited for, just as an album too.
Yeah, a lot of people are hoping. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Metro hasn't missed. And he keeps going, and he seems to keep going on this streak, and he's still going for like this year. He has like the JID collab album apparently that's going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in.
Collab, maybe Don Toliver, like just crazy collabs, and he's been on a roll.
Yeah, yeah, he is crushing it for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah. And I know that this album didn't come out this year, but I do want to give it a shout out because it came out end of last year. Quadeca's I Didn't Mean to Haunt You.
Yep.
That album is such a beautiful album, and like I've been like so in love with it for like the longest time, and I'm actually gonna go see him in concert tomorrow.
Oh,
And so
cool.
I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
But yeah, that album is one that's really stuck with me too, and I know that came out last year, but that one's also an album that I really had to give a shout out to, since that one's just stuck with me so much.
Yeah, that's great. No, I've heard really good things about that one. I put it into the Marble Race just because it's been recommended to me so many times. People want me to sit down and listen to it. I totally want to listen to that, but it's hard to rotate in because it was weird when I brought it up in Discord the other day when we were picking out all the albums for the Marble Race. There were a lot of people like, no, don't do that one. No. Why not? Everyone says it's good. I want to check it out too.
I was watching the Marlboro Race, and I was heartbroken when that one lost.
I know, because it was close.
I was so sad.
It was so close.
And like all of the albums that I wanted reactions to, like Childish Gambino's "Awaken Your Love," that one is like, it has like songs on there that would like they're so amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of my favorite albums on that Marble Race got eliminated. It was pretty painful to watch.
That's why I like it so much, because it's
Yeah.
it's so torturous. He's like, go,
Yeah.
little marble thing, go.
You can't control it.
I know. Yeah, you just have to watch and wait and suffer. All right,
Yep.
Catman, thanks for jumping in, man. I'm going to rotate you out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So everybody in Discord, just so you know, I've closed off the requests. We've got a lot more. I'm going to try and get through everyone, okay? So, tonight it's been interesting. For the most part, the YouTube comments have been pretty quiet. So I feel like people are kind of treating this like more of a radio show, which is cool. That's my goal. I kind of like that people are just kind of listening to it. So I'm going to drop in with Hanjo here. Let's get you in. We'll see what you think for Album of the Year contender thus far.
What's up, Bob?
How's it going, Hanjo?
Thank you for getting my name right. I was gonna mention it if you didn't and say third time's the.
Yeah, I think you told me
times and
last
it's a joke,
time,
but-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my album of the year is "Scaring the Host."
Nice.
It's like just. There's nothing I could say about it that hasn't already been said. It's just really good. So.
Let me ask you a question about it.
Okay.
Because I've kind of hinted at it a little bit, but let's see what you think. Do you think Scaring the Hose has a legit shot at winning a Grammy?
I mean, it would be amazing if it did. It just feels I think there would need to be it would need to somehow get more mainstream than it already is, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
because I feel like the hype for it hasn't died down in like the people that were already listening to it, but I don't think more people are going to start listening to it. I think it's kind of had its peak in that regard. It could totally get nominated. I could totally see that.
You think so? You think it would get nominated?
I think so. I think they probably could, because like what I'm trying to think of what else. I also don't know what else is going to get released this year, so maybe something amazing could. I mean, nobody knows, but like I don't know what's up and coming.
Yeah, sure.
So
I feel like it would just be, to me, it would be very surprising if the Grammys even acknowledged the existence of Scaring the Hose, because I feel like the album Scaring the Hose is intentionally set up to be a dig against people like that, against institutions like that.
I mean, yeah, definitely when I listened to it, that's what I felt like the album was about mostly. I mean, it's kind of in the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'd say. But
yeah, I think so too, yeah.
I think it has a shot for getting nominated at least.
What about, have there been any other albums that you think have just been fantastic thus far in 2023?
Yeah, the Kaliuchis record was really good. It's really just like a smooth time. Like I put it on, and like by track 2, I was like, okay, I need to turn off the lights and just close my eyes and sit back and listen. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good in that regard. I don't think I've listened to it a lot afterwards, but also there's been a lot to listen to.
There has been a lot to listen to. It's kind of neat because earlier in the stream I was saying how there was that tweet talking about how 2023 was kind of thin except for a few exceptions. But with everybody listing off all these different albums, it sounds like 23 has gone pretty well thus far.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good for like, I think there's not been as many like big releases. Like
that's
like,
true.
I don't want to say high level people because that makes it seem like I'm saying that they're better, but like
the big names and stuff.
The big names, yeah. There's not been as much of that. Like the biggest one I can think of is Metro Boomin with the Spider-Verse record.
Right, and
So-
I guess that's tonight, right? It drops tonight.
It probably has already dropped. I haven't checked. I haven't
think in
seen
an
anything, so
hour.
probably tonight.
Yeah.
Oh
something
no,
like
it's not
that.
Friday. I keep thinking it's Friday. I don't know why.
I've been doing the same thing all day. What was I going to say? Oh, you know, one thing I'm excited about is in a couple of weeks, Queens of the Stone Age, which is one of my favorite rock groups, they've got a new album coming out, and it's been years since they've put out an album. So I'm really excited to hear that.
I'm putting that on my list right now.
All right. Nice. All right, Andre. Well, thanks for jumping in, man. I appreciate it.
I do want to shout out this one record, and I've seen people talk about this guy in the Discord before, saying that they don't like him. But as a music nerd, I have to say, Jesse Volume 4, which is like the fourth and final record from Jacob Collier, is dropping this year. Just as a music nerd, he's like insane. And so, like...
Insane in what way?
So, like, I feel like I don't want to... I feel like if I compare him, people are going to start, like, going off in the Discord chat that I have up right now. But, like...
Yeah.
How, like... He's basically like if Peggy was a traditional musician and just was like took all of Peggy's production and rapping ability and put that into like the individual notes of a song and like the melodies and the harmonies. If I had to say like I can't explain his music well. Like he'll sing notes that aren't on the piano. You can't play them.
Huh.
Just like the microtones, he'll just sing in between the notes.
Oh, interesting.
And normally people go like halfway in between the notes, but he goes like sevenths in between the notes.
Huh. Interesting. Well, there's some people on YouTube already disagreeing. There's some people in chat already disagreeing.
I can see.
It is what it is, man. You know, that's what's fun about music is we all get to enjoy what we want, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all right, man.
It's good. Been good talking, Bob. So.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sandro, for jumping in. I appreciate it. And I apologize if I feel like I'm rushing out a little bit, but I do want to get through the rest of everybody before
I totally get it. I see how many people are waiting, and
there's a list. We'll get.
I don't envy your position.
It's all good. All of you people are great to talk to. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks, Bob.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, man. Thanks for jumping in. Let's see. We got Michael saying the Grammys will never recognize Scaring the Hose. I kind of agree with that. I feel like for the Grammys to recognize Scaring the Hose, they would have to be totally self-aware, beyond their ability, or completely oblivious, right? So what's going on? Brandon, let's drop you in here. Here's your invite. Let's see what you think about Album of the Year contenders thus far.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, man?
Yeah, man, I'm just at the gym right now, so I wasn't sure it was going to come through. But
You're
yeah,
a little echoey.
Okay, let me just step out for a sec.
Sure.
That'll work.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better, yeah.
There we go, yeah. Yeah, man, it's going good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Another great Thursday coming into the weekend.
Yeah. Really excited for the weekend. Some new music coming out tonight. Should be good.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the Metro Spider-Verse soundtrack. I think I've broken a couple hearts by telling people I'm not going to do a reaction to it. Although, you know what? I'm kind of free this weekend. Maybe I'll pull a surprise out of the bag. We'll see. Who knows?
I'm hoping to get to it tonight because I think I might go see the movie tomorrow, actually. So.
Oh, cool.
Might be worth checking out. But yeah. Before I talk about some of the albums that I think are worthy in the conversation this year, I just wanted to quickly just talk about these kinds of lists and conversations.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah.
We're all pretty big music nerds at this point, so we don't need to highbrow or anything like that. But these lists are really good, just to recommend music to other people, because all the albums that are being recommended are in that tier that we should be checking out. So just a good way to discover new music. So I really appreciate that, and that's why I tuned in tonight, just to hear what have I been missing that other people are thinking is really good.
Yeah, and there's been a good mix too. It sounds like Scaring the Hose overall has kind of taken the crown for tonight's chat, but it's been all over the place. Little Quadeca. What's her name? Caroline. I can't remember her last name. How to pronounce it? Thousand.
You get a little bit more of that. You get a little bit more of that in years like this. Like last year, it felt so crammed to get your top 10 or top 20 in because it was so stacked.
Yeah.
And like people have said already, we haven't had those high name releases, so we're getting a lot more, underground or smaller artists getting their shine, which is good too.
It is good, and
but-
I feel like it's nice because those guys make great music too, and so it's nice when they get a chance for people to actually hear it rather than just get steamrolled by the big names.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've had a couple artists here that are maybe on their way up, this might be a nice launching pad for their career. But yeah, couple albums I'll just go through quickly because I know you got lots to get to. Aside from we've heard everyone talk about the major ones that I've gone through. I'm surprised Black Thought hasn't come up with Glorious Game.
Oh yeah.
Just a quick album, a little more chill in the production and the delivery compared to his Cheat Codes last year. But I think thematically it sticks on script a little bit more and kind of tells a more cohesive. He's basically just trying to uplift people to get out of the streets or out of their bad situations, and then also uplift other musicians to be inspiring their audience as well. So it's really uplifting, kind of fun, lyrically dense, lots of rhymes. It's Black Thought being Black Thought, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. No, there was a good push when that album came out. There's some people, you got to do it, and it's like I've said 1,000 times. I would love to do all of them, right? But I have to pick and choose. But yeah, Black Thought, man. And Cheat Codes. I heard Cheat Codes was great from last year too.
Yeah, Cheat Codes it's like the production's a lot more in your face. There's way more guests. Like it's another really good listen. Like that was a top 5 album last year. And maybe that's why this one isn't getting as much shine, is because you got the flashier album next to it, but this one's still really good.
Yeah, sure.
And then another one that kind of hit me as a surprise this year was a rapper by the name of Ice Cold Bishop. He just sprinkled in a couple features over other albums I've heard throughout the year, and this was his debut. It's called Generational Curses.
Huh.
And yeah, it was really good. If I had to compare it to anything without, taking the names off of it, I would say it's kind of Good Kid, Mad City-esque with Danny Brown's vocals.
Oh wow, that's an interesting.
In a way, he's got a really frenetic and frantic and kind of desperate, delivery, and then it's kind of this, Good Kid, Mad City, gang violence, retaliation, kind of family members dying kind of situation, and it's a very striking listen.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. I need to put on Good Kid, Mad City again. It's been a while since I've sat down with that one. I just got to spin it again.
It's never a bad time. You always just throw it on.
Yeah,
it amazes me every time.
I'm kind of finally in that spot where I've listened to so many albums that there's some of those classic albums that it's just been a while since I've listened to them, and so I can throw them on again and go, oh yeah, that's right.
You've got a busy schedule, my guy. Like I don't know how you would have time to go back and listen to some of those. Like even sometimes when I hear, okay, Bob's doing this one this week, I got to listen to it maybe once or twice before then, and then you can easily forget about all the other albums that came out, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's tough. It's tough, and sometimes I get a little sad. I'm like, I'll sit here and be like, what did I listen to 3 weeks ago? I don't even know. Oh, that's sad, because so many of these albums have just been incredible, and I've enjoyed a lot. I would say 90% of them have just been fantastic listens, and so.
Well, everything that's suggested to you is like picked through to be at a certain level, right? So that's tough.
Yeah. And then the idea of forgetting something that good is kind of heartbreaking,
Yeah, but how do you just don't have time for it all, right? That's just life.
Yeah. You just fucking
to some degree
you make it happen.
Sometimes I get in modes where I'm like, I really should go listen to this again, but I'm like, you know what? I just want to put this on in my heart of hearts, and then I do it, and then I think that's just the way you got to live by. But,
Yeah,
I had to put on It Was Written the other day because it lost in the marble race, and I was pretty upset. So that's how it goes. Like, well, Bob's not listening to it. I will. Like,
yeah. God damn it. Fine, I'll do it myself.
Quick last shout out, I guess. Daniel Caesar's album that came out this year was really good too. Never Enough.
Yeah, that name.
He's fun because, he's got this beautiful voice, but there's usually like a science layer or a philosophy layer or some kind of other, something to dig up underneath it, but it's good sounding music. So, yeah.
Well, cool, Brandon. Thanks for dropping in, man. I appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right. I am excited. I get to talk to Houston's ex. I'm excited. This is a Buog contestant. He's been present so many times on the stream. I hope your audio is working, Houston.
Oh shit! How you
Oh, there
how
he
you
is,
make
man.
it come out the speaker?
Hell yeah. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello, X. How's it going, dude?
You can hear me?
I can hear you. If you're trying to listen through the stream, that probably won't work. So you might want to mute the stream and just focus, have the sound on through Discord.
But you can hear me though.
I can hear you, yeah.
Hold on, let me try to put it on speaker.
My wife says hi. She's all excited that we're talking right now.
Hey, Miss Pop Pop. And Junior Pop Pop, where you at? Playing the game?
What's that?
Junior Pop Pop, he playing the game?
Yeah, he's in the back. He's playing. Oh, she's waving. She's playing Fortnite with his buddy right now.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Fortnite.
Yeah, there's a new
what's up,
season
Pop Pop?
coming. Got to get ready for the new season. Oh my god.
I know nothing about it. What's
So,
up? How
X,
your life doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, eating.
Good.
Hope I don't burp in your ear.
No, you're
Sorry.
fine. I've been burping this whole goddamn stream. I drank my pint and everything.
I want to crack open something to talk with you too, but I don't got nothing right now.
Well, what do you got as a rapper / producer? What do you think so far for album of the year 2023?
Man, it's far from what everybody else been talking about. I feel sorry. That the chat probably finna slaughter me. So you're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Sure.
But definitely you already know Don Toliver album, Love Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid album. He dropped the deluxe. You probably want to skip the deluxe, just listen to the original version if you ever get around to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that on repeat. You got Spotify and Apple Music?
I'm on Spotify is what I use.
Okay, so Apple Music, it lets you listen to like your top 100 songs of the year. And if you go to my top 100 of 2023, it's like 10 songs from that album. So
yeah, that kind of gives it away right there, doesn't it?
yeah. And I haven't listened to all of Scaring the Hoes. I tried to listen to you with you when you listen to it, but
Is it
I don't know.
Not quite your thing?
Sonically, they rapping, the bars are there, but sonically it's like a earache for me.
Yeah, and of course, I obviously want to make the joke of you being a hoe and being scared by it, right? But that's but the thing is that's the interesting thing to me about JPEG Mafia is I haven't really heard anybody say, "Oh yeah, JPEG Mafia is all right." I hear either people they love them, they're fucking fully on board, or no. That there hasn't really, I haven't heard any kind of middle lane when it comes to his production.
I think he one of those ones that grow on you. I can't think of an artist right now. Probably like Travis Scott. Travis Scott is one of those artists that grow on you. Like if you listen to his first album, Rodeo, he's like, okay, I get the gist of it. But as you keep going into his latest album, you become a big fan. I think that's how it is with JPEG Mafia.
Astroworld really grew on me. Like I liked it at first, and I listened to it again. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. Oh, this is cool. The more I listened to Astroworld, the more I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's in its own lane.
Yeah, for sure.
But would you think you're gonna ever get a chance to get around to Love Sick? Probably next 2 years.
Yeah. God, dude. I mean, welcome to my pain and suffering, right? Of trying to pick through all of these albums. It's like, what it reminds me of sometimes? I've never shared this analogy, but it reminds me of like being a kid and you're walking through the mall or whatever. And I mean, I'm probably dating myself now because nobody fucking goes to the mall anymore, but you go to the game store. And your parents are like, you're in the game store and your parents, for whatever reason, just out of the blue, your parents go, okay, pick one game. And it's like, but there's 40 games that I want. It's like, well, you could just pick one. You just pick one and we'll take it home. Just go ahead. And your parents are all like, well, just pick one. Like what? What's the big deal? But your poor little 9-year-old brain is going, oh my fucking God. How do I say no to all of these games by picking just one of them, you know?
Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Oh my God. I have to have all of them. I can't just have the one.
Yeah, but I think you got your system down packed though, how you pick your albums. And then you did a little twist on it. I don't like to know what you're going to listen to because I just like to get that notification.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like today I was at work and I got the notification for 444. I was like, oh, I know what I'm about to listen to.
Nice, dude. That's fucking awesome. I love hearing that. That's great. Hell yeah. That's fucking cool.
Hey, yeah, but if you ever get around to it, just remember that it's better than that is better than Metro Boomin's album. Whenever you listen to it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You know, with 444, it's growing on me. It is growing on me. It's taking a little bit of time, but it is growing on me a little. I think I got 3 listens in today.
I don't think anybody told you yet, but I believe on the production, the beats that they made, it's only No ID producing it, the whole album. And on the production, I believe it's no loops in the production. Like, you know how the beat loops four loops.
Right.
It's like he says something different with every loop he did. I think if I believe so, years ago, that's what Jay-Z said.
I think you're right.
If you listen closely, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cool. There's been some comments coming in of like, no, you don't understand like what No ID did in terms of the production and chopping these samples and playing them back. Like whatever he did was completely innovative for what was going on at the time.
And I think Jay-Z went to go get No ID to kind of piss Kanye off too.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of weird because I don't know the history and the timeline between those two, you know? And so hearing some of the things that he said about, I gave Kanye 20 million and then he gave me 20 minutes on stage and learning about this weird rant that he had. And it's like, oh shit, there's some fallout.
You ain't go watch that video?
I need to.
It's like a brain fuck. He's just having a mental meltdown. It's kind of sad.
It is sad. It is sad. I hope Kanye gets better, man. I really do.
I've been fucking with Kanye for the longest, but you gotta to know him is to love him. So
yeah, that's I like how you put it right there. That's really good. I like that. Honestly, that's great.
All right, I know you gotta get some other people in here.
I got some more. Yeah, X, dude, it was so great talking to you, man. Thank you so much for fucking hanging out. Thank you so much for making killer songs. Thank you for fucking fuck college, and fuck Sally Mae. God, I love that song so much. It's so great.
I'm gonna keep pushing it out. Hopefully, the album be done in like 2 months.
Hell yeah, dude. You let me know.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
Much love.
All right, you too, man. We'll see you. All right, Jules. You are up next, my friend. Let's see. I have turned my shoulder on fucking YouTube. Terrible. Although it looks like YouTube's pretty quiet. I think YouTube has gone into radio listening mode, which is good. That's my goal. Jules, I just sent you the invite, sir.
Hello. Could you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Good. How's my volume?
I think you're okay. I think you're good. Yeah, I can bump you up a little bit on my side.
Okay, I guess the first question I have for you is how do you like those headphones? Because I've got the newer DT700s on, and they changed the way I listen to everything now.
I really like these. I have large ears, and so when I was in the shopping mode for purchasing headphones, people recommended these specifically because of large ears, and these are very comfortable. I've really enjoyed them.
Awesome.
And the sound is fucking phenomenal too, man. I love it. I just crank up my thing over here and it's just fucking metro booming the whole time.
Yeah, these things get loud for sure.
So what do you got for album of the year?
Yeah, I want to talk about 2 albums or 3 albums that are not scaring the host because I feel like a lot of people have talked about them. I'm I mean, Lil Yachty is my first one. Just right out of the gate, and I think that was in January.
Yeah, it was.
Really surprised me because just from Lil Yachty's like background and his previous work was really all different. So him changing up was really kind of fun. So that was really surprising.
What I loved was learning, as I did that album and then kind of watching some interviews. I think actually it came later, but anyway, just learning how much obsession and love that he had for Dark Side of the Moon. And it's kind of cool that it happened on Dark Side of the Moon's 50th anniversary. And so for him to do all of that and to make such a great album that kind of pulls so well from its source material in a way, not like he was trying to replicate Dark Side of the Moon, but just being inspired by that album and coming out with all that sound, man. It was just it was such a great album. It's still, it is a great album. I fucking love that album.
Yeah, and especially, I think you brought up a good point. I think a lot of the negativity towards that album, if there was any, was with, like he was copying kind of the style, but I don't really see it in that way. It's more of like a homage type idea, which I think there's no really problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second album I have is a double album. It's a Skrillex album. I know it's totally different from what probably your Discord and your audience in general listens to, but it's like kind of EDM. At least the first album is, and the second half of the album is still EDM, but it's a little more chill. It's a lot. I don't know. The first album is your typical, get loud EDM.
Yeah, sure.
What you probably think about, lights, crazy. But the second part, I know a lot of people don't like the second part because it's a little more poppy, but I really enjoy it because it's more of a summer mood, and I can just kind of throw it on and relax.
Oh, cool.
So
that would be kind of neat because that was one thing I've always enjoyed ambient. I've always enjoyed. I call it techno. I don't know if it's electronica or whatever the fuck you call it, but I've enjoyed those genres. But I've never gotten into the EDM lane, and people have recommended Skrillex, and I've never really checked them out. And I did see that album came out, but I like the idea of EDM, but a little bit more chilled out, maybe a little bit of pop in there, just kind of taking some of the edges off,
Yeah, exactly. Because when I think of EDM, I think like concerts, and then like you have to be on drugs to actually enjoy the music, and then it's all like the whole experience.
Right.
So it's like that second album for me was just way better, in my opinion. It was a little more chill.
Interesting. Cool. Did you listen to Maps at all?
I did briefly. I kind of had it like in the background, so I didn't really get into it, but I liked it from what my first listen.
It's very different. But I really enjoyed that one. That was a cool album. Yeah. And then what about some of the other suggestions people have made for their album of the year? Were there any that stuck in your mind?
I think Scaring the Hose is a good pick. For me, I'll be honest, I never really got JPEG Mafia until this album. Something just clicked, and I think that's kind of what people look for in his music. I don't know. I really just didn't get his music until this last album, and then something happened. I'm like, I get it now. I get where he's coming from. And I get the artistic kind of creativity.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I love about him so much is it's like he's like some sort of magician just stirring all this chaos. And when you look at it from afar, there's like, well, what is going on? There's nothing sensical about this. But then you listen to it, you're like, no, I hear the beat, and I hear this, and I hear that. But you're like, it's like your conscious mind goes, this is chaotic nonsense mess. But your subconscious is all, no, this makes perfect sense. It's this weird double layer to me.
Yeah, and I guess I don't want to sound pretentious, but I think for first listen,
Jules, do it. You can sound pretentious.
Yeah, I think for first listens and stuff like that, I think it comes off of just crazy and not musical. But
yes,
I think if you start focusing on certain things, it becomes a little more complex.
Yeah. No, and that's a great way of it. And I think that's what's kind of neat about just Scaring the Hose in general, right? Is this idea of you kind of have to push through that wall, especially if you've never heard anything like that before. You can't just put it on and go, oh, yeah, I like this. No, it takes some effort. It's
Yeah.
and it almost reminds you of like forcing a child to taste food that's good, but they say they don't like it because they've never had it before, and maybe it's got a strong flavor, but it's good, but they don't like it. You know, it's kind of that whole element, I suppose.
Exactly. And then I just want to talk about one last album, also totally kind of away from the rap and rock, I guess, but it'd be uh, Boy Genius's "We're in Love,"
Oh
or
no
not "We're in Love,"
shit!
the record. I don't know if you know about Boy Genius, but it's
I
like Phoebe
do.
Bridgers, basically. Um,
I
and
haven't listened to their stuff yet, but I really like Phoebe Bridgers. I know a couple of like her covers. I don't know her all of her own music, but I'm aware of her and her group as well.
totally different vibe, super sad, but it's really good music. Her last two albums were fantastic, so
Yeah,
I mean, I recommend putting that on. Like, I don't know,
I
whatever.
might just fucking listen to it and not tell anybody.
Yeah, that album was good. The singles are probably the more stronger parts of that album, though. So,
Okay.
just for the record.
Cool, man. All right, Jules. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. All right, Jake, you are up next. Jake's great. Let's see. What do you think in terms of album of the year? What do you got, my friend? Thank you for waiting so long. I apologize. I appreciate your patience, but what do you got for album of the year so far?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Yeah. What's up?
All right, what's good, Bob?
Yeah.
My album of the year, to be honest, I haven't listened to a ton of music this year because, well, I have, but like I haven't really thought it's been like as good of a year for music as recent years. So a lot of the albums I've just listened to once and haven't really been interested enough to go back again, to be honest.
Okay. Interesting.
But all right, okay, the Discord's probably gonna like flame me or something. But
Okay.
my album of the year, as honestly, and I'm not saying this is like some crazy good album. I don't think there's even been like a really, really, really amazing album this year. But I'm probably just not listening to enough right now. Is okay, the Yeet album, okay? But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's because I honestly think it's really experimental for the genre. The beats on there are really good, and for just how my life has been lately, driving around a lot and stuff, it just really goes crazy in the car, you know?
Dude, I could totally see if you're driving a lot and you've got that album on and you've got a decent sound system and you just crank that shit. It's like you're not even driving anymore. You're just like this vessel moving through space, you know?
Yeah, it is. And I also go to the gym a lot, and just putting my AirPods on, and just the sound like engulfs your brain. It is a really, I really love the sound of the album, and he experiments a lot on that album, honestly.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I think that's a totally fair pick. You know, my experience with the album was I enjoyed it. I listened to it a good amount of times. And then I got to a point where I was like, I just kind of felt like, okay, I get it, more or less. And so it wasn't like I thought it was bad or anything like that, but I just kind of felt like, not even so much I get it, but more of a, okay, you know, like I've had enough. I've heard it. I've enjoyed it, but I don't really feel compelled to come back to it. Not that it's bad, but I'm just, okay, and just kind of moved on. But it was a cool sound. I liked how electronic it was. And that's kind of a shitty description. I'm a couple beers in, so my adjectives are lacking right now, you know? But there was just this good, rich sound coming from every song.
It is. It's a good sound. And if you're sitting down and just like staring at the lyrics and really like, I don't think I would even enjoy the album fully through if I was doing that.
Right, exactly.
I feel like you gotta really be doing it has to like fit the mood, and just the way that my life has been lately has really fit the mood. And like something like Scaring the Hose hasn't as much. I listened to the album like twice, and I usually like experimental stuff, but like lately I just haven't really been in the mood to hear all that right now.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a real thing, man. Like I go through waves too. Like I remember there was a while ago I was just listening to Mastodon and Nine Inch Nails and some other shit. And then one day it just kind of like flipped off. There was no reason, no cause, no, that's just like, okay, I'm kind of done with this for now. I'm gonna go listen to like fucking folk music for a while. You know, you just kind of wander off to these different spaces.
I listen to a lot of underground rap too. Like if I was listening to your reaction to Maps, and I was really liking that, but something came up, and I just haven't even put it back on. So honestly, if I listen to that album all the way through, that might be my album of the year because I really like Billy Woods, and I like a lot of the underground rappers that usually get compared to him, like Rock Marciano. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's like literally my favorite rapper of all time. So I listen to a lot of stuff, but I like especially recently, like in the past 2 years, I've really been like able to appreciate like the new wave type of vibe. Like I don't just like shoot it down as soon as I hear something like that like I used to. I used to kind of be like a snob for rap, but
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. You know, that's one thing I've learned with these buwag artists that I'm finding and listening to is listen to everybody because there's some gems out there. And, you know, with Maps specifically, not that it's like a hidden gem, but if you haven't listened to it on your own, top to bottom, listen to it. It is fucking great. Because I feel like if you enjoy Yeet as much as you do, that album, it's kind of like this weird, a little bit calmer, a little bit more disoriented parallel lane to Yeet. That album, the Yeet album that you're talking about.
yeah, and someone said this earlier, but Hiding Places by Billy Woods and that same producer is an amazing album. An amazing album. Especially, I really love the first half of that album. You should, even if you never react to it, you should listen to it on your own time at least. It's an amazing record.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to check that one out for sure. And I have to save it for a reaction, otherwise I will get killed.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to shout out, it came out like at the very end of last year, basically. I haven't even listened to it that many times, but it was really good when I did listen to it. And he's one of my favorite rappers. Herbert by Ab-Soul is an amazing album, too.
Oh, yeah, the Ab-Soul album came out last year. That's right at the end. Yeah.
I thought it flew under a lot of people's radars, I feel like. It never really got talked about that much in rap discourse, I feel like. And I really think it's a good album.
Good reminder on that one. I appreciate that. Yeah, cool.
Yes, sir. But I know you have a lot of people, so I'll get going.
Yeah, thanks for
Especially
jumping in,
because
Jake.
I haven't listened to it too much.
That's all right, man. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kanye, here you go. Attempt number 2. And I'm going to give you a little bit more time this time, okay? Because I know you waited. There you go. I think I hear you. Say,
go.
Hey,
all right.
There you go. What's up, man? Sorry for bumping you before, dude.
It's all good. I was on my phone. I had to join on my computer.
Yeah. What's going on? What do you got for album of the year 2023 so far?
I don't know how no one's talked about this, but the new Kaytranada album, the Kaytranada.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. Like I'm a big fan of like any album that's like a producer working with an artist, like anything like Madlib or like The Alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Like I love stuff like that. And so like this album personally, it's just like it's like a great summer vibe. Like all the songs are just like summer vibes. Like that's Kaytranada's thing.
You know, and that was something I heard, and people were kind of making it a criticism, honestly, was they felt like it was good, but it's pretty long, right? Like it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's very long, but
yeah, and so people were saying, you know, kind of the songs start to sound the same after a while, and this and that, and so I steered away from it, and it sounds like it might be one of those things where it's a good album to listen to, but not necessarily the best one to react to, you know?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of great songs. There's a lot of songs where it's like, okay, but it definitely is good overall.
Sounds like a cool ride. You know, it is fun to have, especially now, you know, it's June, the weather's starting to turn nice and all this other stuff. There is something special about having these kind of just lighter, more enjoyable summer albums to listen to when the weather gets nice and you're out doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. And like obviously Scaring the Hose, great album. There's been a lot of peg riding. I'm gonna be a peg rider too. So,
peg rider, yeah, that's great, dude.
Like it's a great album. I think like first listen, I fell in love with it. I mean, like I was waiting for it. I was like already ready for that JPEG crazy sound, and I see someone saying peg rider.
I love it. No, that's great. Peg rider is a great term.
Yeah. but that album's obviously great. Another one, like producer artist album, I don't think anyone's really talked about it, but Casey's album, it's just Soffelstein or whatever's the producer. I don't know how you say it. He did a lot of producing for The Weeknd,
Oh, okay.
and it's a really great album. It's like TW 2052 or something like that, and it's like some futuristic sounding, like it sounds like it came out 10 years from now type album.
Oh, cool.
And it's really, really cool. Like Casey, I've been following him since he was on Donda. He was like a pretty big part of like the vocals and stuff. And like, I just love his voice. It's like really unique.
Nice, nice. Now, did you listen to Let's Start Here or Maps or any of those?
Oh yeah. Let's Start Here like was a crazy reaction. Like the first song, I was like just smiling the whole time because I'm like, this is a Yachty song. Like what? Like I felt like I was in a different reality.
Right, for real, dude. Yeah, it was so great to just drop into that and go, oh shit, we're going on this kind of ride right now.
Yeah, no, it's just straight from the beginning synths. Just that already took me away. I love synths.
Yeah. Right on. I think so. Cardboard in YouTube was saying it wasn't the, I cannot pronounce the name. Catch. How do you say it? Catram. I can't say it. The one that you like so much. I don't know how to say it. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure either.
30. That one's. I guess that one's shorter. 30. There's another album that came out recently that was like 90 minutes, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, don't do a reaction to that one because all the songs sound the same." I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Well, let me toss the question to you because I've asked a couple people.
All right.
What do you think about the chances of Scaring the Hose being nominated for a Grammy?
I definitely think if they did it, it would be like a big moment. Like it would be good for them. So that might be a possibility on why it would get nominated, but they're just too scared. I think the Hoes are too scared.
They are. All the Hoes are all too scared.
Board of Hoes at the center of whatever they have there.
The Board of Hoes. I like that. That's great. Oh shit! Oh, you're hitting the vape a little too hard there, bro.
Oh shit! My bad.
A little too hard. All right, man. I'm gonna rotate you out. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I had to rotate you out before, man. I appreciate you hanging out.
Have a great night.
You too, man. Take care.
See ya.
All right, Joe. You're next. Thank you for your patience. I apologize. I know the list has been long and the wait.
Hello?
How's it going, Joe? What's up?
What's up, bro?
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great. You know, I have to admit, I gotta be honest, right? About 2 hours ago, I was playing Diablo 4 because it just launched. And I'm all excited. I'm a huge Diablo fan, and I had a beer, and I was like, oh, do I have to do my stream? But I love it. I love hanging out with you guys and talking with everybody, awesome. Interacting with the community. It's fucking great. It's so much fun.
This stuff is great, dude. I fucking love it. Wait, I'm sorry, but yeah.
What do you got for album of the year so far, man?
So my album of the year is, I don't know if you know who this guy is, Jordan Ward. He's kind of like R&B out of St. Louis, but he's so good, man.
Really? I don't know if I've heard that name yet.
He's got like 1.2 million on Spotify, but I love his album so much. It's called Forward. So good, dude. It's like, it's kind of like R&B. It's mainly R&B, and it's like just the perfect summer album, in my opinion.
Oh, no kidding. That's kind of an interesting mash, right, between R&B and summer. Because usually, and maybe I'm just wrong. I'm not an R&B aficionado, right? But I always think of like kind of sad, maybe a little depressed or whatever on the R&B side.
Completely opposite with this guy. He's so like, just I guess uplifting would be the word. Just like you hear his music and you hear his music and you just instantly get in a better mood.
No kidding. And in terms of like the music, I mean, kind of describe the music a little bit if you can.
It's hard to explain because I've never really heard anything like it before, but like it just makes you feel good. You'd have to listen to it. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah. I think I probably will listen to it.
I think he's like the next big thing, dude.
No shit.
He's really good.
Huh. Right on.
And
what about some of the other ones that you've heard listed?
Scaring the Hose, definitely. It's been talked about like a million times already, but for good reason. so I won't harp on that one too much. Oroku Saki by Mickey Diamond. Probably don't know who that is.
Oh,
but...
I do know who Mickey Diamond is. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we've listened to him a little bit. I have not listened to that album yet. It's been sent my way.
It's really good.
Yeah, to check out.
It's kind of like it takes a lot of inspiration from MF Doom.
Oh, okay.
It's the same cover, all the sample like the clips from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that.
No, I know exactly which one
really
you're talking
cool.
about. Yeah. I did listen to that one.
So there's that one. Daniel Caesar's new album is really good. Got that one on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Love that album. The Caliuchis one. Obviously, Let's Start Here. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Like this has been a really slept on year,
You know,
like
I was
a lot
just
of people say it's weak, but
I was just gonna ask you, what's your opinion on people saying 2023 has been pretty thin so far?
it has been compared to like other years, but it's definitely not just nothing. There's definitely good albums that's come out of this year so far.
So it sounds like it's been more of a year to let some of the hidden gems come up and shine.
Exactly. Yes. This hasn't been like a mainstream year. This is definitely like a year of hidden gems, like you said.
I think
the new Young Senju album is another really good one.
Yes, I want to check that one out too. Young Senju, man. When I found him last year during initial Buwog stuff.
I was the one who submitted him.
Oh, okay. He's fucking good.
I really like him, dude.
He's really good. I need to check that one out for sure because I want to get him into the rotation if I can. Because he
definitely got those To Pimp a Butterfly vibes.
Fucking A. He's good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He is really good. When I heard Guernica the first time on I guess it was TikTok. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna like this guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good, and he's fucking young too. He's not even. I don't even know if he's 20 years old yet.
He's probably like 19, 20.
Yeah, that's cool that you mentioned him, man. That's definitely a hidden gem.
Yeah, he's only got like 100,000 monthly listeners right now. It's criminal.
It is. It's sad. It makes me so mad sometimes.
There's so many good artists, dude, that just don't get the recognition they deserve. It's actually kind of tragic.
It is. It is. And I don't know how you fix that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Do what we can, I suppose.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Ugly by Slow Tie?
I did not. I was gonna, but then all the shit that happened with him. I just, I don't even want to touch that now.
I think there's a silver lining in this because from what I've experienced, just my own kind of anecdotal experience, so many people have said as soon as those charges came out, I wasn't going to listen to it. And I hope this is something that becomes so consistent that it essentially becomes prominent in music, maybe in movies, whatever, where the artists, the actors, these people who are out doing God knows what start to think, you know what? If I make this shitty decision, it is going to have an impact on my career, a bad impact.
Right.
So hopefully that's what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being
sucks when artists like that just pretty much ruin their career. It sucks.
It sucks. It just sucks. Man, nobody wins.
Exactly. It's the same thing with Kanye. I just feel awkward listening to him now.
I really don't listen to him.
It sucks, man.
And it sucks, man, because he's got some great music, and every now and then I'm like, I kind of want to put it on, and then the first thing that goes through my mind is all the stupid shit that he said in the last 6 months or so.
It sucks, man. And the media just putting him on blast does not help at all.
No, and I feel like they're at least half of the problem because they just feed off of everything he does.
They just, I don't know how to phrase it, but they give him bait and he takes it, so to speak.
Yep, and they do it because they know he'll take it, and then they know they can make money off his response.
Exactly.
It's
especially with the Alex Jones one. That one was really bad.
I
remember watching that for the first time.
I know. We gotta stop. We gotta stop because I'm gonna get all pissed
off. Same, dude. I can't. It's too late for this.
So who was it? Ward? What was his name again?
Jordan Ward. You gotta check it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll probably just give that a listen on my own just to check it out.
It's so good.
Yeah, I want to hear that. That sounds good.
It's one of my most streamed albums of all time already.
No
shit. It came out in March.
Oh,
it came out 3 months ago.
Wow.
I just can't get enough, dude.
That's fucking impressive right there.
Even his other music, what's it called? Valley Hopeful, that's a good project too. If you like Forward, then I would check that one out. Remain Calm, his EP, that one's good.
Oh,
He's just good, dude. He's just so solid.
Nice. Nice. I just like the idea of a summertime lift you up R&B album. That sounds
Yes,
amazing.
dude, that is exactly what this is.
That's awesome.
It's got some kind of like slower tracks, but it's such a fun album.
Cool.
Like White Crocs, for example, just can't get enough. I think I've streamed that like 60 times already, at least.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, Joe. I'm gonna rotate you
All
out.
right,
Thanks.
I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for
Yeah,
your
man, it's
patience,
fun.
man. Yeah. Cool,
All
man.
right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, dude. All right, Arya, you're up. What do you got? What's your take for album of the year so far?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little deep though, a little dark and mysterious. Oh my.
Yeah, dude, call me corpse husband.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, obviously, my number one is scaring the hose.
Scaring the
Yeah,
hose, man.
But I mean, everybody says that. Everybody.
Well, but it's cool.
So
It's nice to hear so much consensus across the community. You know.
I think I'm on Minecraft. I'm sorry, your chat is flaming me right now.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all right. You have to learn to ignore them. This is all part of the gig, honestly.
Well, listen, something else from the chat. Callie and me were agreeing on something that since Scaring the Hose is so overhated, Dog's Body by model/actress is probably my runner-up. I would say it was the Slow Tie album, but
Yeah.
I haven't really been rocking with that recently. So
yeah, it's amazing how much that has mattered, and I kind of like how much that has mattered. I think that's a good thing in a way.
For real. But yeah, so this Dog's Body album, I highly recommend everybody checks this out because I think it's getting slept on.
Dog's Body.
It's like, yeah, by model/actress, and it's spelled very odd, but it's like this alternative noise rock, I guess you could say.
Alternative noise, not just noise, but
no, not just noise.
Alternative noise.
Because okay, this album has done something that no other noise album has ever done, or has ever made me feel before, in that it has like these very quiet emotional songs that it still manages to coexist in the same sound flavor or sound language as the louder cuts on the album. And it's like, and to contrast the noise of the instrumentals, the vocals are so like up close to the mic and personal. It's almost like ASMR at times. Like,
oh wow,
the singer is so quiet. I've never heard anything like it. It's really, really incredible.
You know, there is what the fuck was I listening to the other day? Where the singer got really, really quiet. Oh, The Ride by Amanda Palmer. At the end, she gets really, really quiet and really, really close. Mm-hmm. And it does add this. There's just this element that doesn't normally exist in a song. It makes it intimate in a way.
Yeah, it's so like, it's unsettling, but it also feels so much more personal. It's like unsettlingly personal almost.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, let me see. Just quickly, I guess I'll throw out some honorable mentions. I do still want to honorably mention the Slow Tie album. You know, very good musically.
I think Slow Tie. I honestly, between the four that I've listed, if I was forced to pick one, I'd probably pick Ugly, because I think it's that good. I really do think it's that good. Now I understand everything else going on, but if you just in musical context only, Ugly, it's got great beats, it's got great production, it's aggressive, it's emotional, it's raw. It is this whole thing.
It's honestly really cool, and it broke my heart to see like those headlines. I woke up, I'm in like a big Discord chat, you know, and I see that, I'm like, no,
God damn it,
so gross.
Yeah, it is gross, and it really puts a horrible taste in an album that could have been fantastic conceptually, but now it's reality, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. It's honestly kind of how I feel about some of Kanye's albums, like Yeezus, where like
Right.
if you listen to the shit he's saying in Yeezus, I always thought, oh, this is such good art because he's like playing this up. But now I'm not sure. Like,
Right.
does he really mean all the stuff he's saying in the way I like?
The biggest struggle I've had with Kanye is going back to some of the older stuff and thinking, okay, which Kanye is this? Because he seems to be multiple people at different times. And so one of the things I kind of ask myself is, and why I haven't continued with his discography is, okay, yeah, this is a great album, this is a great album. But was that a Kanye that existed for 18 months or 9 months or 4 months? Like, which Kanye was this? And is this the same Kanye as the other Kanye? Because it just feels like all these different people within the same body.
You can't like hold anything he says he believes, no matter how truly he says he believes
right.
it at that point.
It
yeah,
just
like who knows if this is
Yeah, it's weird. It's very
Yeah.
fucking weird, man. Very weird. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it.
I truly, just before I leave, I guess, because I don't want to let the other people in, I truly think that like the human brain was not meant to know this much about people that we don't see face to face every day.
I agree. And you know, this is something
Yeah.
that's been difficult for me with this YouTube channel is, for the most part, when it comes to me and listening to music, I don't spend time researching the artist. I simply listen to the music. And it's been this weird double-edged sword of, as I do this whole journey and learn about the artist, yes, it makes their music more powerful, but it also makes it more ugly, depending on what's going on in their lives and who they are as a person.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's, I mean, there's a big part of me that goes, you know, ignorance is bliss. I'd rather let the music just strictly be music and know nothing about the people making it.
For real, because like, well, yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but yes, I agree.
It's just a weird thing, you know. But then you flip it the other way and you go, wow, you listen to this album fully understanding where they were when they made it and what was going on and what it means, and it just amplifies everything within it. And so now the album's 10 times better.
Yeah, it has this weird effect of making it even more real and like authentic than you thought it was.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's
a
just
trip.
also kind of gross because the album's dark or whatever.
Yeah. So it's just one of those, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you manage that. I don't. And maybe who fucking cares? You know, you live and you listen, and sometimes it ruins it, sometimes it makes it better, and such is life, I suppose.
Yeah. All I know is I have my Kanye vinyl, so I don't have to give him any his fifth of a penny from my Spotify stream, you know.
That's right. Good for you. Yeah, you keep those pennies.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right, man. All right, thanks for jumping in, man. I'm gonna rotate you out, okay?
Yeah. Good night.
All right, I'll see you, dude. Let's see. We got a couple comments over here on YouTube. I wasn't paying close attention. It's getting harder to pay attention as I drink more beer. Surprise, surprise there, right? Ruth says, I have no idea what this stream is, but I love music discussion and the videos. Well, thank you, Ruth. This whole thing is basically just interacting with members of Discord. They can call in like the radio show, and we can discuss album of the year contenders. Viral Cam, you are up next, my friend. What is your album of the year contender so far?
All right. Can you hear me fine?
I can, yeah.
All right, cool. First off, I want to say, Bob, I'm like a huge fan of you. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks.
I just joined the Discord now. I've been on Patreon for like a year plus.
Oh, no shit. Well, thanks, dude.
There, so,
well, thanks.
yeah,
I appreciate
it. I'm learning.
And thanks for waiting. I apologize for the wait. You know, I'm staying on later than I wanted to, but thank you for hanging out.
Nah, cool. Thank you for staying on. I'm a streamer as well, so I totally understand. Like once you get to like that last like 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, fuck, how many people I have left? Like two.
Right. Yeah.
All
right.
So,
right.
I won't keep you out too long. I just want to say, all right. So everyone was talking about scaring the hoes when I like just jumped in on the call.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason I thought everyone was talking about the Earl Sweatshirt album. Because that's like the definition to me of like scaring the host. And Some Rap Songs is one of my favorite albums, but how about that? Have you gone back into that project since you reviewed it? I know I saw your recap.
For which one? The rap songs?
Some Rap Songs or Solace. Those are probably like two of the projects that I listen to the most.
I haven't gone back to rap songs, unfortunately. I actually since that week with Earl Sweatshirt, I haven't really gone back to any of them, unfortunately. It's kind of harder, I think. It's weird because in some ways it's fun to do these Super Fridays and be able to crank out these short projects all together and kind of get like this broader scope of an artist. But then at the same time, it almost makes it worse in terms of listening to it after the fact, because now instead of just one album kind of moving along down the line, multiple do. And, it's just one of those things. But I do remember, some rap songs, I think I talked about like going for that jog, right? And being super tired and how it just fucking clicked with me in that mode. It was interesting how that worked.
Some Rap Songs was like my album that I washed my car to, and I would like get to the end of washing my car because it's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
so you get
sure.
Full like detail and everything, and I'm like, all right, this feels like I completed like two things at once. So
yeah. How is that experience, washing your car while listening to that?
That's how I probably listen to majority of my music, honestly.
Shit.
I've listened to Let's Start Here probably a good couple of times.
That's a great one. I fucking love that album. It's so good.
Yeah, what a good project. I just saw him. I think it was on SNL. He had a live performance.
Oh no shit!
I don't know if you saw that. That might be good.
No, I didn't see that.
I'm plugging that for the viewers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good call.
But yeah, that was super cool. I've been listening to SD Knack. He had an album called Knack Saw Jim Duggan for any of the Griselda fans.
Oh, nice.
Like a gutter New York Dominican style of album.
Okay.
Jim Legacy dropped a project. Have you listened to Brent Faiyaz, by the way?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to listen to Jim Legacy, it's kind of like that Brent style is like style with like UK drill.
Okay.
Young Nutty's album was pretty good this year. That's really it. I've been listening to a lot of leaks. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no shit! How do you like that? Do you like listening to leaks? I mean, how do you feel about those?
I know it's a little controversial in the community. That's how I like started on YouTube. My like first, and so like I have a YouTube page as well. I won't plug my stuff because like it's not my page. But
no worries, man.
That's how I got like my first million views on YouTube. Is literally just doing like album leaks, and then I got suspended for like 90 days. So this is me getting back on now. But yeah, I've done a bunch of like Cardi stuff. I love like the underground rap scene. So
yeah.
Oh, Cardi and The Weeknd is dropping tonight.
Oh,
it's
that's right.
With Madonna, which might be interesting as well.
Now, when you guys when they say Madonna, is that Madonna that I think of, like, or is there another?
Yeah, I think
like
so.
Madonna, who's been around since the 80s, Madonna.
We're gonna find out in 10 minutes. So
okay, because I saw that and I was like, I feel like I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit like in the like, what is happening?
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
I think it is. Yeah, I see the chat says Madonna. I think the Madonna.
The Madonna. Right. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's really all I had. Oh, I had a question. So I know you have Acid Rap coming this month.
Yeah.
But I'll ask the chat without spoiling anything. I think Chance is dropping this year. How does everyone feel about that?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, more Chance. The Chance conversation has been odd because everyone says Acid Rap is great and all this other stuff, but then apparently he's not that great recently. So I don't know.
Oh, that's such a like. All right. Acid Rap is incredible. So that's like a really good start, I think. 10 Days very good as well. It's his earlier project. But Acid Rap, I listened to that still since it dropped. So
okay. Well, that's cool. I love hearing that. When people say I've been listening to this since it came out, that's a good sign. Always, right?
Have you gone through like any like mixtapes on Dat Piff? Like I know Lil Wayne has a bunch of stuff.
No, that's the one thing I've been not really doing yet is mixtapes. You know, I tried to do Live Love ASAP, and I kind of went through that, but you know, it exists on streaming sort of, and I did the mixtape version sort of, but it was kind of funky because a couple of the tracks were the production only. There was no vocals.
Oh, okay.
But that's the one thing I have not tackled is mixtapes, and it would be fun to do, but it's like this whole other can of worms, you know? And
Yeah,
so,
you have a bunch on your plate already.
yeah,
so.
I haven't really touched it quite yet.
Cool. Well, I'll let you go. I'm glad that I'm a part of the Discord now. So
Yeah,
y'all probably...
thanks for hanging out, man. I thank you for the wait and the patience. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for doing what you do.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully we can talk again soon.
Hell yeah, man. Take care.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, see ya. All right, final speaker of the night, Jay. What's going on, Jay? Thanks for jumping in. I saw you use your mod powers to bypass the switch there.
Hey man, first I want to apologize to whoever I called a Minecraft YouTuber a couple of
No, it's all good. Everyone's just having a fucking good time. Don't worry about it.
Listen, my album of the year, I got the new Daniel Caesar. I mean the new Destroy. No, fuck with you. I got the new Daniel Caesar record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I want to talk about some albums that are coming out this year that I hope will be album of the year contenders.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think?
There's the new Icy Twat albums. I know you don't know of them, but if BB Jack was here, he'd be hyping me up. Rest in peace.
Yeah, right.
If he was here, he'd be hyping me up. But that should be pretty good. I'm excited for the new maybe Frank Ocean, the new maybe Playboi Carti, right?
Yeah, you know, it is interesting to hear about those guys and people talking about new releases and then also going, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, with Frank, it's more viable. But Playboi Carti's just like a fucking liar. Playboi Carti's just a liar. He just does not tell the truth ever. So
That's funny.
okay. But yeah, Frank Ocean is more likely. I'm excited for the new Lucky. You need to listen to Lucky. So I have to do my like.
You got to do your plugs, man. Don't worry about it. Everyone gets their fair shot, you know. You're just playing the game. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, the new Red Veil this year. I saw Zach mention it. It was really good. I saw him live. Red Veil had my album of the year 2022. Learn to Swim.
Yeah.
Love that record, man. I have it on record. I'm on vinyl. It's fantastic. Kelly, I hate to say it, but Quadeca, I can't.
The split on Quadeca has been incredible. The people who love it, and the people who don't fuck with it are like, get it away from me.
I'm sorry. But, yeah, I got the Daniel Caesar record. It's still not his best, but I think it's really good. It has some fantastic tracks on it, even though it runs a little bit long.
What about, what were your thoughts? Did you listen to Maps by Billy Woods? No? Did you touch Ugly by Slow Tie?
That's another one. I'm kind of with the other ones where it's like I was going to get to it, and then now I'm not going to. Yeah. So like, I can't. Yeah. I think I was kind of not disappointed by the new Destroy Lonely, but like, I thought it was going to be a little better.
Destroy Lonely. That's the one I was thinking of. That runs a little long, and people said it's 90 minutes, or it sounds the same and stuff like that. That was the one I was thinking of.
It's pretty good. It's not. I wouldn't say it's top 3 for me. I think top 3 for me would be the new Daniel Caesar, the new AOTY, and then the Yeet album, probably.
Okay.
And then, but the new Destroy Lonely is really good. It just runs long, and it's like. Some of the songs sound similar, and that coming from me, that's real because I don't be saying.
Yeah. You know, the whole song sounding similar is such a weird problem because if you like the songs, then it's great. But if you're not into them, then it's obviously a serious problem.
Some people just be saying that about music they don't know about.
Yeah, I think that's true too.
Someone said Yeet sounds like all trap music. Be honest. Be like real. You don't listen to any trap music if you say that shit.
That's funny.
You listen to a song like Now, and then any other song, you'll be like, yeah, these sound about the same. You're just wrong. Like provably wrong. So I don't like. You can not like it, but saying they sound the same is just like factually false. So
it is a little weird. I mean, you can tell. I agree with you in that sense of you can tell when people just aren't listening to it, because anytime I hear somebody say all metal sounds the same, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, another one I'm excited for, the new Lil Uzi Vert Pink Tape. It's been, if he drops it, he's been teasing it for like fucking 2.5 years. So I'm praying he drops it soon. But
that'd be cool.
Oops. But I hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the hope, right? But that would be fun if he did drop a new one, because maybe I could jump in on that one too.
There we go. Sorry, Sherry just called me a baby. All I gotta say is you're bald. I have a full head of hair. I got a full head of hair. So
these are both factual statements. Factual statements. All right, man. Well, I like it. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for sneaking in, I suppose I should say, huh?
Real.
Yeah. Who's gonna win the finals, the NBA finals?
Fucking Nuggets, man. One of them too, but like it's. I hope the Heat win, but the Nuggets are like a better team. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched basketball in forever, so I have no idea. No idea.
No, bro. These finals are pretty good, but my team are fucking professional chokers. So lose the playoffs. Fire our coach. Thank God. Love you, Phoenix Suns. Love you, Alicia.
Oh God. All right. Well, I'm gonna rotate out.
Laser fans. All right.
Oh,
lame.
Blazers. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right, Jay. I'm gonna rotate you out. Thanks for jumping in, man. I appreciate it. All right, everyone. Well, I intended to run this stream from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It's now 9 o'clock. Now I have to play Diablo up until at least midnight, because I have deprived myself so much of the video game that I wanted to play this evening. But thank you, everyone, for coming, hanging out, sharing your album picks of the year so far for 2023. Cliff just dropped in too. He's here, which is kind of nice. He should be playing Diablo right now, but apparently he's not. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm going to go yell at him on Battle.net right now. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was kind of cool. You know, I do really like this format, this whole BSing with Bob thing. I think it works out pretty well. I don't know if I'll ever get it into like a consistent rotation. That's tough for me. Oh, it's downloading right now. Okay, good. Good, Cliff. Good. But if it does, you know, my goal is to try and have this mix of, you know, talking to Discord, picking up on YouTube comments. Although YouTube tonight was nice and quiet, which is cool, which means to me people are treating it like a radio show, which is kind of the goal. And I want the topics to be current, you know, something that's active in the kind of sphere of conversation for the time being, because I think that makes it fun. You know, lots of things to talk about. Okay, y'all. Take care. Have a good night. Tomorrow, for YouTube viewers, I will be posting my 444 reaction. It's already recorded. It's already uploaded. It's not even blocked by YouTube, if you can believe that shit. Crazy. Not blocked. A Jay-Z reaction. Unbelievable. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and we will see you very, very soon. And everybody in Discord,